16 minutes into the program, welcome back. Scientists are urging the video streaming platform YouTube to prioritize factually sound material on its site. That's after a study showed 60% of clips on climate change opposed mainstream scientific findings. But the website insists it is open to all views, as long as they don't violate the company's rules.
YouTube is a platform for free speech where anyone can choose to post videos, as long as they follow our community guidelines.
Well, to discuss whether YouTube should be clamping down on scientifically incorrect content, we're joined by social and political commentators Ansar and Anthony Brian Logan. Good to see you both, gentlemen. Should more be done to prevent the spread of what really is the consensus among scientists across the world, misinformation on climate change? Anthony, is it right to allow the uncontrolled spread of opposing views to mainstream science? Does the truth not just get lost in the fog that way?
Well, the thing about science is that it's an ever-changing thing. You don't always have one particular train of thought that's always the same. I mean, the opinion about the planets have changed. It used to be that the sun was revolving around the earth. Now we know that it's the other way around. Things change in science. And the thing about climate change, for an example, you have a 97% consensus, but that's not a 100%. There are some scientists that think that climate change and the way that we think about it as far as it being man-made and caused by man is not accurate. And there's other scientific ways to prove that method. So I don't think YouTube should be in the market of trying to determine which scientific facts are correct or incorrect, because, again, science is a study and it's ever changing.
Okay, Mo, let's put some of that more extreme aspects, examples that Anthony was speaking about. We do have cases where individuals, groups cast out on science that is mainstream, that is overwhelmingly agreed upon. Flat earthers, for example, should that be banned from YouTube altogether, even though there's varying degrees of skepticism ranging from questioning it to denying it? Should it all just go, Mo?
I think the first thing is we need to perhaps address what is the area of science we're looking at. Science is a big thing. It's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of information, vast topics and vast areas of discussion. Part of the scientific method, which, if I can just slip in, it was pioneered by the Muslim scholars of antiquity, was about discovery. It actually wasn't about absolute truth, but higher truth, finding better ways of discovering things, finding new ways of interrogating the scientific method, the idea that we put things to the test, and we don't just use the Aristotelian method of inference, was one of the big things. So we have to put ideas and concepts to the test. We have to have rigorous, free debate, academic debate. However, this general idea of using algorithms, as pioneered by Al-Khwarizmi, is really about actual facts. And I think hard truth and half facts, where we have a current climate where people are able to throw up false news, false information, false facts to discredit things which are not only accepted wisdom, but have been proven, tried and tested in the scientific realm, peer-reviewed, and have been accepted by the general public. So if you're looking at flat earthers, for example, or you could use the same and speak to people who are hardline Christian Tea Partyists and say, well, you know, the earth wasn't actually built in 6 days. You don't need to pretend that dinosaurs weren't real, because in the ancient Arabic or the Aramaic or the Hebrew, the word is yom. Okay. And 6 yom refer to six eras and epochs. So
do we ban religion?
Have scientific
do we ban religious texts and Bible study from the internet?
Nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. Listen. I have been a working theologian for more than about 2 decades now, lecturing at one of the local universities as well. The reality is, if you want to have rigorous debate, I'm very happy. I've sat down with many Bible scholars and sat down to them and said, look, why do you keep peddling the myth about 6 days for creation when actually era and epoch could be a million years, it could be 100 million years?
That's their faith. You have your faith, you know, in Islam.
No, I certainly,
and they have faith as well. So
I certainly can say, I certainly, let me finish, I'll finish. Thank you. I certainly can say that the Bible wasn't written in English. And if you want to take a literalist translation of the Bible and take your pick out of 150 different versions of the Bible, if you can't find one in this one, you find one in another one. But either way, in English, it says 6 days. The earth wasn't built, the universe wasn't created in 6 days, and on the 7th day God rested. He didn't need rest anyway, but he would if he saw the state of the earth today. But it was built in 6 eras and epochs. So we've got Christian literalists, Tea Party activists, the Bible Belt in America are now voting for Trump on the basis that they take things literally and they're not using rational, logical,
you're a Muslim, though, so you're
thinking.
attacking Christianity. I don't see what's going on here. So should I attack Islam and somebody
Not attacking Christianity. Islam states clearly in the scriptures, not only la ikraha fi din, which is there's no compulsion on religion and belief, but put things to the test. Islam, remember, just to
yeah, I just want to get back onto science for a minute. Hold on a second, Mo, because I'm guessing, Anthony, what you're essentially saying here is that you fear this kind of blocking of points of view going into political views. Is that the fear?
Oh, that's what it's going to be. Absolutely. Because at a certain point, these people at YouTube and other places, they're being told by specific people to say, hey, we don't want to have this kind of view on the website. I need you to kind of filter that out in favor of this over here. This is whole, if you're going to have freedom of religion, freedom of speech, let's let that be the case for all religion and all speech, as long as it's not illegal, as long as I'm not making a terroristic threat or something like that, then I should be able to express myself.
That's a bizarre concept.
Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Like,
sorry, that is a bizarre concept.
About Islam, like, okay, you're talking about Christianity and how you feel about it. I should be able to say same thing about Islam, and it shouldn't be any kind of differentiation between my faith and how I feel and your faith and how you feel. That should be open. It's about religion. You shouldn't be able to just say, oh, let's not have that be on the platform. We're talking about faith. So should I be able to say things in Islam?
Anthony, if you want to listen, Anthony, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, Anthony, stop a minute. Yes, you can, and yes, people do. And if you want to debate me on Islam anytime, any place, anywhere, it's not a problem, okay? I've debated everybody already. There's not a question you can ask that can't be answered. The important thing is this. You are advocating some kind of mythical unicorn about free speech on the internet. Now, what we've seen with Cambridge Analytica, with Cambridge laboratories, which was run by Bannon and Banks and the far right, that have burgeoned and risen across Europe and the West, that false news is out there, propaganda is out there. Joseph Goebbels will be having a field day right now, okay?
Oh, what kind of false news are you talking about that's coming from the so-called far right? I don't understand.
There is, right, you come from a cultural perspective where you believe that freedom of speech is an absolute right, even if it's patently absurd. You believe that those things that should be allowed to get out there.
Who's to decide what's absurd and what's not absurd? Is it you? Are you the grand arbiter of what is absurd and what is not absurd? Who's to decide that?
Yeah,
is it
today,
you?
Today I am. Yeah, today I am.
So today
I am,
because you are the guy that I got to go to and say, hey,
Anthony,
is this speech absurd or not? After I talk to you about that.
Anthony, why don't you listen? 2 ears, 1 mouth, and you'll understand more that way, with all due respect. Look, algorithms are being used currently on the internet. They are being used to deal with hate speech, terrorism. We have things like suicide clubs and things that have been setting up on a number of different social media platforms. We have real problems in society, and the first things people need is access to rigorously tested, understood and accepted scientific data and information that is correct. There are areas for debate that we do need.
Okay. Just let Anthony respond to that, and I'll get back to you. Anthony, just respond to that.
I just wanted to tackle the idea that it's not a level playing field. This is in the pockets of the rich, the well-funded, and those who control and pull the media and internet strings, not for the common man. So we do need some regulation.
Okay, yeah, I'll respond. I'm just not really understanding what's going on. I'm kind of confused because you're talking about the far right and Cambridge Analytica and the myth of Christianity. It's like, okay, that's just your opinion. Okay, that's fine. You can have your opinion, but your opinion shouldn't be how we dictate policy on these platforms, okay? You should be able to have your opinion, and that should be okay. I should be able to have mine. If I'm a Christian and I believe in how the earth was created according to the Bible, I should be able to believe that. It shouldn't be up to you, who is an anti-Christian, to say, oh, we shouldn't have that. Because
I'm not anti-Christian. I'm not anti-Christian. Wait a minute,
hold on. I can talk now too, sir. That'd be the same thing as me saying that your faith should not be on the internet. It shouldn't be broadcast. You shouldn't be talking about putting the women in the full body, all black outfits with the one little mailbox slit over the eyes. I should be able to say that because that's my point of view. And you shouldn't be able to come against it. We should be able to have different points of view be available to
Okay,
anybody.
I want to put a
Well, that's a
related
very
point.
interesting-
Hold on, both of you, a second. Mo, I want to put this point to you because
Okay.
YouTube says it promotes free speech. However, just a few days ago, it did ban an ad because of the word Christian. Why does YouTube apparently see religion as a potential problem in ads, but not science, as we were discussing?
I would give some ground to those proponents who say that there has been an overindulgence in tackling, let's say, troublesome speech. Nobody should be banning a video or an opinion just because it refers to religion, and there is an oversensitivity here. However, what Anthony seems to be making a mistake on, and I do know this case in question and some of the others, talking about Muslim women who are on a spiritual journey, who decide to cover up, and calling them mailboxes, as Anthony did, or as Boris Johnson has done, or as Trump and other people may or may not like to call these people, is hate speech. Tackling somebody
Wait a minute.
on a
Okay, so
Christian
that's hate
theological
speech. That's
issue.
hate speech,
I'll
but
just
when you
finish my
say
point.
that,
Hold
it's
on, I'll just
absurd
finish my
what was
point. I'll
created in
finish
7
my
days.
I'll finish my point. Anthony, I'll finish
double
my point,
standard.
which is that is hate. That is no, it's not a double standard. You're just not
It's
clever
double
enough
standard.
to
Yes, it is,
understand the
sir. Yes,
standard.
it is.
All right, hate speech is one. Hate speech is one thing, but having an academic discussion, as I've done with Bible scholars, about what language the Bible was written in, is 6 days, for example, accurate, or is 6 eras and epochs more accurate, or the idea in the Old Testament that somehow you deal with the disease by getting a bird's blood and mixing it with twigs and sprinkling on people. That's no cure for leprosy. We have science and medicines for those things now.
Anthony, is it effectively impossible to regulate efficiently the volume of content that is out there? Is this something that can actually be done?
Well, not really, not effectively. I mean, you have algorithms, things that filter out certain topics to, demonetize it or to try and de-rank it, but you can't really get everything. And at a certain point, you're going to have political points of view and personal opinions of those that work on these platforms come into play. It's not really going to be so much about, what's hateful and what's not hateful. It's about, what do I think is offensive? What do I think shouldn't be on this platform? That's what it's going to be. It won't really be about trying to have a better platform overall. It'll be, at the end of the day, about appeasing certain people and their particular points of view politically.
Okay, we've got about a minute left. Mo, just give us your thoughts on whether, YouTube should be clamping down on scientifically incorrect content more, or as they say, leaving it be until it actually has a problem with their guidelines.
No, I think YouTube do need to set up some kind of a expert panel of arbiters, whether it's on science or religion or anything else. YouTube should not be the arbiter. They shouldn't be the gatekeeper. Once you make people the gatekeepers, that you put too much power in too few hands. So you do need to have a consensus of scholars. However, I'd just like to say to Anthony, one of the reasons I like coming on RT is that it is a free speech platform. I can challenge myths, misconceptions. I can speak free. Nobody censors me and nobody controls me. We need to let free public speech rage. But we do need to come to some conclusions, and stopping the flow of false information and false facts, whatever the topic area. We've got young people who need to be better educated about green issues, about the world, about politics, about climate change, about how we can live together harmoniously in one society. And that's why we need regulation of this stuff.
Anthony?
Yeah, my thing is, let's focus on facts, not so much about opinion and how you feel about faith and how you feel about certain things that affect you. Let's focus on facts, and then we can have an open space for opinion. Let's not mix our feelings into what opinion is and try to regulate things that way. Have facts be facts, but also have room for opinion, regardless of whether you agree or disagree. That should be how we go forward.
We've been speaking to political and social commentators Anthony, Brian Logan and Mo Ansar. Thank you both for a spirited conversation and debate this hour. Always good to have you on the programme.
Thank you.
Thank you.